Hello my good students, welcome back to our War on the Sea Let's Play series with the Pacific mod, and we are in quite a bit of a pickle, aren't we? Just won a surface engagement against a King George V task force. So we did sink the battleship there, a Omaha and a couple destroyers along with that, but that does leave a fairly damaged New Orleans about, as well as a couple more battered destroyers along with that. I'm fairly confident they will want to retreat right now, as it absolutely should, but the problem lies in now our supply issue. We have exhausted our ammunition on Fighting Force 1, so that needs to go back to base, all the way back to Kure. Might even think about sending back some ships to repair there, and that will include the Fusos, unfortunately, both Fusos that we have available. And we also are very low on aircraft stock for our CVs, which is really not good at all. We'll go over to the strategic map now and have a look at exactly what we're talking about there. So, yeah, with the Fuso Task Force, Fighting Force 1, we have basically 0 armor-piercing shells and such in our Fusos, not enough to really warrant a surface engagement. Fairly damaged as well on both Fusos. Yamashiro taking the more significant damage there, as you have more real destroyed components, so more critical components destroyed. And of course, Takao took some damage at the start of the game there. And Yugumo's on the verge of sinking as well, 15 damaged components, 1 flooded. It's not looking great at all, so that's going to go all the way back to Kure. That's going to take 62 hours. And the problem with that is that we won't necessarily have the engineering and such there to resupply. Because we are very tempted to take things off of Kure to reinforce Truk. We are going to make a decision, I think, now to reinforce Truk rather than Guam, because that does have, or could we, rather than Truk, where is Guam? That's on a level 0 port, isn't it? So I think, yeah, definitely go for Truk. We're on the verge of creating a level 3 port there. And what we can do with that is then, of course, rearm our ships. We won't be able to repair them, but rearming is certainly what's needed right now, and that will let our CVs hang about a little bit longer and actually resupply there, which I think will be the goal. What do we actually need? Let's just double check. We have the supplies, though we do need some more on there if we're going to resupply our ships afterwards. We need more engineering, of course, and a fair bit more fuel. We're going to need 2 loads of fuel there pretty much. On invasion supplies, we are really going for supplies and engineering. We do have about 1,000 or so troops on this as well to reinforce whatever base we drop off at, and that's looking like we will go for Truk now, so that we can reinforce that properly. So the direction we're going to go is through here. It's going to take 152 hours though, and that's a hell of a long time. Really long time indeed. It's not looking good. Not looking good, is it? But not to worry. What do we actually have on our CVs? Not really a lot. Nothing on the Taiyo. That is just sitting, helping these scouts, I believe, they're originating from the Taiyo, and most of them are here. So it's not entirely useless there. We have all of our zeros on the Kaga, but our vowels out here, where are we? We have 14 here, and we have any more here. We have 6 from the Shokaku to count up. That's basically it on the Shokaku as well, so not looking great whatsoever there either. We are waiting for Guam and Saipan to restock, but Saipan only has enough to resupply 1 aircraft there. So not looking good at all. We're going to pull back our submarines then, and we're going to go on the defensive. We're going to try and avoid combat for the foreseeable future until we have restocked our armaments. We do have Fighting Force 2 over here, but that can't take on anything too massive, unfortunately. We do have 2 heavy cruisers in the form of Mogami and Tone, and an assortment of 4 destroyers, but that's not going to take any decisive engagements there, unfortunately. So we're going to focus on destroying enemy cargo ships, and probably try and take on this submarine, to be honest, if possible. But that's really the extent of our strategy so far. We're going to try and avoid the enemy as much as possible there. So let's carry on and see if that really does pan out the way we want to plan it. Of course, no plan ever truly surviving contact with the enemy. But you know what? If you don't make contact with the enemy, your plan will work. So let's carry on and see what we can do about that then. Alrighty guys, so we appear to have spotted just outside Peleliu some enemy supply ships, so we're not going to let those pass unthreatened. What do we actually have? We have, if we just bring our Mavises down properly, have what appears to be another Netherlands oiler over here, and we have over here another cargo ship from the Netherlands. Excellent stuff. So we're going to try and go for the oiler over here. Going to go as quickly as possible. That is not very quick in the Mavises, of course. We're just going to try a standard formation attack over here onto this. No need to do anything too fancy. It's going to be difficult enough to get in without losing anything to their small arms fire, unfortunately. So we're just going to slow our speed down a tad there and come in from the side over here. And I think that will do, really. Just hope that we give some fair lead, the correct lead, and get all of that off properly. It's going to take 3 or 4 to hit that, actually, to sink it. We have got those off rather successfully, so let's just increase speed and get out. That's all we can do. Unfortunately, must be a tad more active. Maybe we should have manually dropped, which is something I want to get some more practice in, but that's not looking too bad there. We should get at least 3 hits, it's looking like. Come on. No. Just the 2, unfortunately, there. Not good, not good. What's the report? Let's have a look. Yeah, heavy's a heavy. I don't think that's going to sink. Don't think that's going to sink. We give it some time, wait around, have a look. Stay in contact with our Mavises. I think a manual drop really is the way to go with these. That's not to worry, we can always come back and try and hit them a second time. So but that second time is of course now. We've just rearmed our Mavises, come straight back out, going to break off our attack here, go for a manual attack I think on the leading ship, hopefully gets a few torpedoes on there, and try and get a couple torpedoes on this rear ship over here. We're going to slow down this Mavis, gives us more time to think about this particular attack here. So like I said, we're going to go in for a manual here, but we've not quite done that exactly how I want. We're going to line ahead actually. Form up like that very quickly, thank you, and that will make it much easier to drop onto this particular ship. We do need to get a decent lead on that, and the Mavis is of course not the most agile of planes, but that's not looking too bad. I'll take that. It's down to me if we miss, and we'll take another manual on this particular ship as well, thank you very much. Let's go right on top of her as close as we can feasibly get to that. We did get some hits there. Oh no, should have dropped a lot earlier on that. Look at that. But we did get 4 torpedo hits onto this particular ship, so hopefully that will be going down. I do need to increase our speed and altitude there to throw off the small arms just a tad, and that fire is looking very, very nice indeed. Shall we take a report? Critical to critical. The one going down is very nice indeed. I think we'll watch that for just a second. Okay, so after a long, arduous journey, we are now finally back at Kure, and not actually a moment too soon because we have just been resupplied, which is absolutely brilliant. We're going to save our pennies a little bit on Kure by not taking all of the engineering and fuel that we can to resupply all of our ships. We're going to have to say a very sad goodbye, I think, to both of our battleships here, the Fuso and Yamashiro. That's going to be quite the hit, of course, to our task force here, but it's not to worry too much. If we just go to, that's on the top, isn't it, release and repair, we go for both of these ships. Everyone wave bye-bye, we'll see them again later, I do promise, but we will get resupplied once again once they come out of the dockyard. So let's see how long that's going to take. Quite a while, I imagine. Only 2 weeks. That's not a lot of time at all, you know, really not a lot of time at all. That is actually really, really good. So we'll get resupplied for both of those, and they'll come out fully restocked and fully repaired in that time, which is really, really good for us. Do we want to send back to Cal? That's the question. And you know what? We're going to answer that by first getting some reinforcements. If we go to, now we'll go for a BB. It's tempting to go for a Congo. because it is cheap, but it has no armour, it's tempting to go for Issei. That's very, very similar to the Fuso. We're just going to double check the armour differences, actually. So the Fuso has a actually fairly decent sized belt, actually. And the magazine on the Issei is worse as well. But of course, the Issei doesn't actually have any advantages in aircraft. I thought it might come with Jakes rather than anything else. It does have a couple more secondaries, but secondaries don't necessarily make a battleship, do they? What's the cost difference between that and Nagato? Only 10. Nagato is absolutely a brilliant ship. The only problem is that the belt armour is not particularly good. Neither is... Well, the magazine armour is actually not bad at all, really. We could certainly try that. I do like the big old guns of Nagato. It does have 410mm guns. Aircraft wise, it comes with Peats rather than Jakes, so that's not a problem. It's going to be most of our points though, that's the thing. Just for the one. If I put that in there, it lets us add this up a bit easier. I'm going to want to replace, before I do that, I'm going to want to replace, which destroyer really got damaged? Yugamo, I think. Going to replace that, so that will release a repair as well. It's going to be a tough one. It is going to be a tough one. Going to go to tactical very quickly. And what we can do here is look at exactly what the damages are on our ships. So, Miyoko's reading minor damage generally, and that is absolutely true. Only a couple things really hit there. The bridge and funnels hit a tad, but nothing too detrimental there. Takao, as we know, has lost a funnel. Where is Takao? Here we go. Yeah, completely lost a funnel there, but everything else isn't actually looking too bad. So I think we can live to bring these back out, actually. I think we can certainly bring those back out. So yeah, let's go for a Nagato and a replacement destroyer. And you see, I would love to go for Hizen, but that's not for another year and a bit. And of course I'd love to go for Yamato, but we can't currently afford that. And I do want to bring out the older battleships, to be honest, at some point. Let's go for a... We can afford a Fubuki. Fubuki's not exactly bad. Why not go for that? Done. And we can merge group, like so. And of course we do still need to rearm. Let's do that. Do of course still have resources at Kure. And with that, can just double check we are of course fully stocked up. Does look like that's the case. And that is absolutely brilliant. Cool. So a tad weaker, but not necessarily out of the game there. With that, that is still of course going to take a long old time to come back here. And we have sighted another threat down here. I will let you know when we see that. Luckily, let's just say we're very lucky to have our extra submarines. So we're going to keep those very close to Guam, because this target will certainly be trying to bombard it once again, I would wager there. If we get a few more command points, I'll be very tempted to create another supply convoy. If we go through to something for fuel, we can get a slightly cheaper Kiyomaru for 13. That's going to take all of our points, isn't it? So we don't want to do that just yet. So we'll carry on, see you in the future. Okay guys, so it's been yet another few days. Not really a lot sighted, to be honest. We have seen a hell of a lot of enemy scout planes coming off of this sort of area outside of Saipan. I've been trying to scout this out because we've got a lot of patrols going out in that direction, and our Nagato force has now made it back over here. So do have those peaks and such going out from those as well, but just can't sight the enemy ships that are apparently scouting us out. So it's making me very worried there's something quite massive over there, because we have sighted something rather big quite previously, which I will keep a secret for now. Although I'll give you two guesses as to what it is. So the situation at the moment is we should be in range now to drop off our invasion supplies, which is mostly engineering and supplies itself. So let's unload all cargo here. It's not quite in range. It's a bit embarrassing there. Let's move up. We can see some supply ships coming around. Have got Fighting Force 2 coming over here as escorts for our oncoming supplies, and we have our CVs coming in ready to restock their airplanes as well once we upgrade Truk. So let's move on with that. Try and get this in here. Invasion supplies, unload, excellent. Pull out. Let's go straight up through Saipan and such to begin with. We'll think about that in a minute. If we go to Truk, and we of course have a lot of engineering there now. That is excellent stuff, and with the bonus that we're going to get from this group, we didn't actually pick up any extra engineering with this. It is mostly troops and fuel and some supplies as well to help out with that. Do want to of course reinforce that because it is now a critical location for us. We do want to make sure that goes defended if a enemy invasion does come to that. So let's carry on, do that. Gonna try and get right on top of these cargo ships. Go to Fighting Force 2. Just go a tag closer if possible. It will be very, very small but easy surface engagement. Right on top of them. Just going to launch if we can. Another Jake over here. And give that over, where are we? That one here. We're going to tactical, I think, with this particular group. Probably should have thought about our what do you call it, our formation first, but it's not too much of a bother against this particular group. We are right on top of them. Let's turn about over here. We need to get them on the map. Excellent stuff. Identify this as a, I believe it's called a centaur. Let's go to over here. Go MS. There we go. Centaur here. Fire out the HE as quickly as possible. Thank you very much. Do that with our secondaries as well. Tonne, you can do the same. You should be ideal for that with all of your guns at the front, of course. Brilliant stuff. And everything else can fire at the second ship over here, which is another, I believe, Netherlands oiler. Let's see. There's no. Oh, there's the flag. This is a British oiler. Excellent. Go over here. Go to a. Oh, it should be large tanker. It should be as simple as that. Fire out as quickly as possible with everything. Thank you. They will have a couple small gun mounts of their own, I believe. We can double check that in just a second. Turn around and get over there. So, this one would only have small arms by the looks of it. This one should be the same. Can't spot any gun mounts there, so easy engagement. Don't ever say I don't ever treat you to enough surface engagements, guys. Oh dear, look at that. The bounties of having some sight beforehand. But still struggling a tad there. There shouldn't be too much to worry about though. What we should really do is actually try and get some manual shots off. Let's hold here. Because the lead won't be very much at all. If we just give ourselves, there we go, just make sure our formation's okay to do that. And we'll manually fire out like so. See if that hits. Down anyway, excellent. And if we target this, we'll just hold on to that. And once our guns are turned around and in position, we can get some manual shots out on that as well. It should not take long at all. Let's go. Come on. There we go. Is that going to hit is the question. Didn't see any hits there. Just hold out again. Wait for the reload. Try and get our tonne to do the same actually. Just hold out there, get our guns into position. Manually fire once again, just a tad behind there. Don't need to give it much lead at all. And that, how's that looking? Getting a few hits there, just straddling a tad. Should be in position to fire with tonne. Making a meal of this one, aren't we? It is going down though, and that's excellent. Well done, guys. Hard fought battle there. Open the champagne, everyone. Oh dear. So yeah, the race now is of course to make sure our CVs get down to Truk with our supplies, rearm, and make sure they don't get hit in the process. So let's continue with that. Okay, so just south of Truk, coming up from Guadalcanal, Solomon Islands, we have sighted what appears to be quite a major force. What do we have over here? We have an invasion force. Okay, pure invasion force. We have 2 heavy cruisers. We have a Northampton. We have, what is this over here? New Orleans. It is indeed. We have a Bogue. Okay, interesting. That changes things a tad. That makes it much more interesting. Do have an assortment of destroyers once again. Clemson Wicks over here by the looks of it. Let's see. We have a Sims. Ooh, that's a Jervis, I believe. Okay. Alrighty. So it's strange. It's not overly threatening, but it's not going to be the easiest fight. If we try and sink the Bogue with torpedoes from a sub, perhaps we can move in for a decent surface engagement, perhaps. Of course, we could try and use our air power now that we have some to take on the heavy cruisers, and maybe even stop the supply ships before they come in to invade anywhere. So let's mark this off on the map, and that is right here. We're going to where's P? Going to mark that one off as a CV task force there, and what we're going to do is try and bring in our subs over here. Do we have any spare Jakes about? We don't. This one is from Mogami. Do we not have one doing a radial scout? Might be it. No, must have lost it previously. That's not a bother there. Might just have, we can actually rearm our subs at Truk now, thinking about that. Don't need to with this particular group though. I think we're doing okay there. Can we launch extra 0 over here just to keep that scouted out, like so? And this one can stay about just to keep sight on that while the extra 0 comes out. Do have a Fighting Force 2 over here that can't take us on just yet. Once we take on the CV and maybe damage a heavy cruiser, that will actually not be too bad for us there. We do have Nagato out as well. If we just bring that out a little further forwards, our CVs can come a little further down as well. I am just sending out some zeros, funnily enough, to take on some more supply ships over here. So we can go into that in just a second. In fact, I think that's what we're going to have to do now. Well guys, we did actually completely lose sight of that aircraft carrier task force, the Bogue task force, over the course of the day, even with our zeros going backwards and forwards to scout that out. So just by chance, genuinely by sheer dumb luck, our subs have come into contact with it. Just going to double check the possible range there, because as you'll note, it is 20 minutes past midnight. And yeah, for once that's actually accurate time reading from me. I know miracles do happen sometimes, but that's looking like 5 kilometers or so. So we'll roughly say 10. Go straight into that. We should be facing them. The problem is, of course, it is past midnight, but we can just about see some lights in the distance there. Yep, they're coming towards us. Okay, let's break off, turn to port rather hard there, rather, and go straight into that. We absolutely want to try hitting the Bogue in this. I'm not taking any chances here with that. I'm going to try it for that then. Where are we? Want to go to CVL, Bogue, and we're going to try and spread out some of our torpedoes here a tad. Going to try and go for one of the cargo ships, I think, for now. Because strategically they are ultimately the big threat. Gonna go for the one here. I forget exactly the name of it. Crater, I believe. But it is this one. So we're going to turn a tad more so we've got a slightly better solution on that. I want to be as perpendicular as possible. and then we want to calm down with our speed and such. Although having said that, the range, if you look at it, is 11.8 kilometers to the bogue there, so we're going to be roughly 9 or so kilometers when we do get a tad closer. So we're going to stop turning and just go straight into them with that particular ship. This one can turn out a tad more, and I'll see you when we decide we're in decent range. Okay, so guys, I think this is really the most ideal chance we're going to get at this point to hit this bogue. We don't have the greatest solution on the cargo ship over here, but that's not overly bothersome. We don't have an ideal target, of course, on the bogue. I'd love a 70% at least, but you know what? I'll take it at night. We're only going to fire... Actually, we'll fire 5, that's a 1 degree spread there. We'll fire them out now, let those travel, and then we'll fire out for the cargo ship there. Am I imagining this, or do they look like they're changing their formation a tad? I think I'm imagining that just a tad. That's fine. We'll just make sure all of these are fired out. We will lower our scope, and this one has the test depth of 100 meters. There's no layer to hide under, unfortunately. So we are going to go to just 70 meters there, slow our speed down if possible, and just turn to their rear. With this particular sub though, we're going to want to keep our periscope up, and the idea of going for this particular cargo ship is we might get some collateral if we fire enough torpedoes as a decent spread. Might even hit the leading ship here, right in front of us, but I do want those bogue torpedoes to travel just a little bit further with this being so close to us. So we'll let that happen. So we may just miss this, unfortunately. The heavy cruiser at least. Once again, this is just to threaten the supply ship. Anything else is bonus game there. I don't think we're going to get any collateral on that, unfortunately. I think that should be enough time though. So let's, I think, fire out. We're going to fire 4 here, and that's going to be a 2 degree spread, and that should be okay there. Let's fire out. Give that a little look. We're filling with the camera a little bit too much there. Nice one. Okay, so down scope, thank you very much. You can go to 50 meters, and once again I think we'll turn this way, separate our subs a tad. Hopefully that'll do the trick. At least for the bogue, please. Do not want to take a nasty carrier battle for that. It is only a CVS course, of course, but you know, fighters can work wonders sometimes. And with all of this AA about, it's not going to be the easiest target at all. Okay, so the bogue is absolutely sinking. That's what we came here for, and that is brilliant stuff. Can we hear any sonar pings? We want to reduce our speed if we can. I can't hear anything. I really can't hear anything. And that's brilliant. We can see on the map there's still the threat that our torpedoes might just hit this particular cargo ship over here. If it turns a tad more, it will evade those. It is looking like that's going to be the case, unfortunately. And that's a bit sad. There's just some wasted torpedoes. But you never know. You miss every shot you don't take. That's absolutely true here. So, yeah, I think we'll just wait for those to pass. So fast forward a tad. And yeah, that's absolutely going to miss, no worries. What is that? Just made contact, re-established contact with this destroyer by the looks of it. It says number 8 actually. Is this actually hunting us? We can hear the pings coming off of it. But doesn't look like they've detected us over here, which is excellent. So we can just safely come out. That's excellent. Bogue down. 3 command points. Brilliant. We're going to keep an eye on that, of course. We're going to move back up over here to Truk. Going to move, I think, these subs a tad closer, like that. And then we can move in for Fighting Force 1, and then our CV group as well can join that. So just move that forwards to begin with now. And I think, unfortunately, guys, we're going to leave it there. That is going to be a rather short episode, I'm afraid, but I have been recording for quite some time, and we have got what we wanted to be done today. We've got our goals accomplished. We got Truk to level 3 ports finally, and we've recovered from the damage we took previously. Has been quite a few days, so it is only going to take a few more days for our battleships to come out of the dockyard, and that is excellent. Whether we'll get the 2 Fusos straight back, I'm not entirely sure. We might want to reinvest those points into something a bit beefier, perhaps start reforming the Kido Batai in the form of Akagi, or we might even just go for some more supply ships, really. Well, you never know, you never know. So, thank you very much for watching, guys. Please do go follow the link in the description for the Discord channel if you are interested in having a greater inputs, more direct inputs into current and future series on this channel. But thank you very much for watching, very much appreciate it. I've been the Edified Gamer, and I hope all of your nights and days are auspicious. Goodbye.